Lakeland Public Television presents Common Ground, brought to you by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Hi, I'm John Parsons, and this is Lake Bemidji, and I'm here on the campus of Bemidji State University for the Minnesota Northwoods Writers Conference. There are in fact no less than 5 workshop tracks participants can choose from. There are 2 poetry tracks, translation, fiction, and the workshop we're looking in on, creative nonfiction.
I'm Rob Held, a high school English teacher from St. Francis, and I've come up to Bemidji State University here to participate in the creative nonfiction sessions. I've long been interested in coming up here.
Tell me a little bit about why we have this conference again this year after 5 years when we didn't have it.
We have the conference because the current chair of the English department, Larry Swain, approached me about starting the conference up again. It went into hiatus in 2008.
It restarted this year after a 5-year hiatus, I believe, getting the brochure in the mail at school, and I'm going, hey, that's going to be my summer retreat.
The workshops are taught by published authors. Each evening, those authors take turns to read a piece of their own work. I've come to hear Furman University Professor Joni Tevis, who is leading the creative nonfiction workshop. And we're just in time for the introduction.
Aww. That was professional, huh? I hope you're all enjoying this conference as much as I am. Tonight, I am just delighted to have the honor of introducing Joni Tevis, whose debut collection of essays, The Wet Collection, draws on her experience as a park ranger, factory worker, funeral plot saleswoman, and world traveler.
So I'm going to read an essay from my new book, and I'm excited. I've never read this one before. I mean, I've read it. But I've never read it to other people before. So this is an essay about a journey, and we take these trips. And sometimes we get more than we bargained for along the way, and sometimes surprises come. All right, here you go. Sympathetic magic. It starts off with an epigraph. I will say to the north, give them up, and to the south, do not withhold. Bring my sons from far away and my daughters from the end of the earth. Isaiah 43. Whew, you know Isaiah is good. Waiting outside the Fairbanks train station, I had the feeling the whole thing could fall through. When our guide Carl showed up, we shook hands, slung our gear into his van, and headed up the haul road before anyone could stop us. I'd tried to prepare, trained, researched gear, plotted distances, but yet, as the little plane surfed and dropped in the thermals, I saw that it wasn't enough. What made you want to visit the refuge? Arctic National Wildlife Refuge. Northern Alaska, I should have said. What made you want to visit the refuge? The pilot asked, and my throat closed. Cliffy mountains on either side and below. Snow caught in their creases and marks where hooves had struck stone. Gotta be in my bonnet, I said.
What we're doing in class each day, we're focusing on a different aspect of collecting the material, which includes research.
I wanted to go to the refuge to see what the deal was. It was very hard to get a clear answer from either side, and I wanted to go and have an honest experience there while I still could, because I knew it would be hard to get there, it would be expensive to get there. I was lucky to get some grants to be able to do it, and I wanted to see what it was like, and I was not prepared for this thing beyond reason, this kind of magical quality that the land had.
We are nonfiction writers, so researching is part of this process, and she really enjoys researching. She would admit that. She spent a lot of time researching, and having been a park ranger, she has a natural interest in that outdoor stuff, that environmental and everything, and she just incorporates that really well in her writing. It comes across quite clearly.
In the cockpit, a locket swung from a knob, and a picture of the pilot's kids covered a dial. He belonged here, not me. But the truth was, I had to see the refuge for myself. If we waited, I knew somehow that it would be too late.
The writers I pull together here, in this for this conference are people who have been recognized nationally. I pull out people who are teachers, who are also excellent writers, excellent teachers and excellent writers. That's what we look for. So it happens I'm lucky enough to know those people.
How did you get these folks to show up? I mean, did you pick up the phone and ask them, or come, or what did you say?
I sent an email, said the subject line, big favor. Said, I'm trying to put together a conference. Would you consider coming?
I crawl out of the tent to fill my water bottle, stepping over the mountain avens growing just outside. A small plant with a white, daisy-like flower, the aven means good camping, and legend calls it the blessed herb, which stops the devil from entering.
So flora and fauna, as you mentioned, we talked about that in class today. Learning about the specific names of plants and animals and flowers, and instead of just the flower, you name it, and that's an important part of making a story more real.
Here's home for a while, a dry place on the tundra. We share it with wolves, one of whom surprises me as I crouch by the river. He locks eyes with me, evaluates, decides to move on, and lopes easily away along the gravel bar. In the pause after he's gone, I hear the hum of billions of mosquitoes. One clings to the tent screen, clapping her front legs. Brooding over these things, eyes scanning the tundra, I sense something strange taking root deep within myself, an insistent wriggle of thought I dare not speak aloud.
The last third of the story was a real transition, unexpected, and the whole audience, the whole place, man, everybody in that place was just, and of course she got that emotion welled up, and which was great, and she granted herself that afterwards. She said, "It's okay, isn't it?" And it certainly was, because that whole room was just captivated. It was, I don't want to say more about any specifics, but it was captivating.
Thanks, you guys. So.
Hello.
Hello.
That was awesome and a half.
Thank you, Rob.
The closing, just wow. That was remarkable.
Thank you.
Where do you do this one or the next one?
I think the next one. Yeah, I like that
Do you have
one.
much
I like that one.
experience with that?
I like that one.
Just so you know, here's my notes from here tonight.
Oh.
I started here, sympathetic
boy.
magic,
Yeah.
but then I jumped across with a few items, but then
Oh, wow. I love it.
I'll share it with you tomorrow maybe.
Yeah,
I'll let
like
you know,
that.
because I'm sure I know I would be interested in somebody
Yeah.
charting some of the memorable or standout stuff.
What did you glean? Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
It was
Rob.
really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I've interviewed lots of people, but never before have I conducted a television interview over Skype. I'm John Parsons from Lakeland Public Television. I'm doing a little piece for our Common Ground series about the Writers' School, and I was just going to do a little tiny interview with you over Skype. Catherine, tell me what is it like doing a Writers' School over Skype?
Well, it's total fun. I am a real participant in the classroom. Even though I'm not drinking coffee or running in and out of the room with everybody, I'm having a great time. I can hear everything that's going on.
How are we in Wisconsin?
Hey, I think I'm starting to hear you. That's good.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Last night, I for the first time, I heard them talking about Wisconsin. I thought it was a joke, and then I realized they were talking about you.
No, I'm real.
She's a participant who applied and got in. She's lovely writer, but after we accepted her, we found out that she was unable to physically attend the conference, so we had to make accommodations for that. And we've been using Skype, and now we talk about her attending certain events even. Like we bring an iPad on a tripod to the readings, and she's on a laptop, sitting on a desk in the workshop with everyone else, and she interacts with
Can you
them.
get into that without being a subscriber?
Yes, yes. They give you 10 free issues a month. 10 free articles a month.
Okay.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I physically could not be in the room, and Bemidji State University has done this for me. Very open-hearted, I think.
If you have an idea for a Common Ground piece that pertains to North Central Minnesota, email us at legacy@lptv.org or call us 218-333-3022. To view any episode of Common Ground online, visit us at lptv.org. To order individual segments or entire episodes of Common Ground, please call 218-333-3020. Common Ground is brought to you by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund with money from the vote of the people on the 4th of November, 2008.